What?
We're alive.
Oh. Hello, everyone. Welcome to A Cup of Happiness.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to A Cup of Happiness. A Cup of Happiness. Woohoo!
L'chaim.
L'chaim. So it's a video blog to help people find more happiness in their lives. My name is Cindy Pacino. My company is Transformational Healing. I'm a life coach, energy worker, and happiness expert. And this is Blake Seidel, who is joining us today. And Blake Seidel, Blake, you tell them what you do for a living.
Well, I'm a professional contemporary dancer in Tel Aviv, Israel.
And did you grow up in Tel Aviv?
No. I grew up here in Virginia. Fairfax, Virginia, actually. And my life story takes quite a few twists and turns. Graduated from high school, went to...
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. Went to Vassar College in New York City, not New York City, in New York for 2 years. Transferred to University of Virginia, graduated from University of Virginia. My last year of university, I got picked up somehow by a contemporary ballet company. And I had always sort of loved to dance, and I needed to take extra classes when I transferred to UVA in order to graduate on time. So I started taking modern dance and ballet classes, and there was a woman there who was starting her own contemporary ballet company in Charlottesville, and she saw me and she was like, "You could really be something if you wanted to be."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so today's Cup of Happiness is all about checking off the boxes versus living your passion. And I was talking to this wonderful young woman not too long ago. We were doing this one-to-one and talking about, how we got to where we are. And, she was talking about how she was following society's rules around checking off those boxes to live your best life. And, graduate from high school, go to college, and it's different for men and women, but it's becoming more the same. But like for me, in my day, it was go to high school, graduate from high school, maybe as a female go to college, maybe, right? And I remember when I was at SMU, and I was a dance major at SMU, and I would ask some of the other girls, in my dorm or whatever, like, what's your major? And they would say the MRS degree. Right? Yeah, Mrs. They were there to find a man and get married. So, and I'm like, what? Like, I didn't understand that. So, but then, in my day, you were supposed to, if you went to college, right? But you were supposed to find a man, get married, have babies, and that was kind of the end.
Yeah.
Right? And now things are different. Now times are different. And people, I think, have more opportunities. And it's more societally acceptable to stray from the norm of checking off the boxes. But I still think a lot of people, because, happiness is my gig. And I know a lot of people that are like, they're bored. They're not really happy in their jobs. They thought making a lot of money would make them happy, and they're not really that happy. They have a lot of things, but it doesn't necessarily make them happy. And so this young woman I was talking to, she was like, she actually was close to suicide when she finally had this epiphany of, I need to live my passion. Yes, I need to make money because we need to live on this earth, right? And I need to pay my rent, and I need to do that. But I need to live my passion. And that really inspired her to do more in her life. And I remember, Blake Seidel, that I heard long after, so if you haven't figured it out by now, Blake is my son. And we found out years later that you had auditioned for So You Think You Can Dance. You cut school.
Yeah.
And auditioned for So You Think You Can Dance because you used to pop and lock.
Yeah, I self-taught.
Mm-hmm.
It was nothing. It was nothing crazy, but it was a fun pastime for me.
Yeah, and so what happened at the interview, at the audition?
I got cut almost immediately, but they said you have talent. You're just not ready yet.
And you need to do
ballet.
Yeah, you needed technical classes. And so even when you went to Vassar, what did you start doing? You started taking classes, right? You took modern, you took ballet.
Yeah, not a lot, but I took. I was mostly focused on my psychology degree, and I didn't have so much time for taking actual classes, but I was a part of like a student-run dance group,
How's that called?
Fly People.
Fly People.
Yeah.
That was so awesome.
I made a lot of great friends there.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. So both of my children have taken very different roads than their dad, than me in their lives. And, you know, check off the box. I have a house, check off the box, you know.
I don't have any of those boxes.
Yeah, I have a car, check
Don't
off
have
the
that box
box, right? So, and so I think there are two things about checking off the box and versus living your passions. Is people are scared to live their passions because, why do you think?
Because it's dangerous, and if you fail, it looks like a huge. It's kind of a huge. It can be a huge reflection on your own personal failure, which is really hard for people to accept.
Yeah.
Um,
You'd be a loser.
yeah, you'd be a loser,
Right.
which is not actually the truth.
No.
Um,
Yeah. So people don't, right? They don't feel courageous enough or strong enough, or they're so afraid of failure, and they have this. But I think they have this dream fantasy of what living your passions looks like, right? So tell people about your life, Blake. Do you have a house?
no,
Do you have a car?
no,
Do you make a lot of money?
absolutely not. But am I happy?
But are you happy?
I'm incredibly happy.
Have you traveled the world?
I have traveled the world, and that has brought me a lot of happiness.
Do you love going to work every day?
You know, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
no. Like there are days when I wake up and my body just hurts, and I just want to lay in bed like everybody else. But in the end, I end up going because I know it's gonna bring me every day. No, that's how can I put this better?
I know.
There's a small fire that burns inside of me all the time. That is my passion.
Okay, stop right there. I think that lives in a lot of people.
I think it lives in everyone.
But people either ignore it or they let other people snuff it out. You know?
Or they're told that it's not important, and that it's not as important as checking off the boxes.
Okay, good. Okay, so you have this fire. So go back. You have this fire.
So I have this fire, and it's always burning. It never goes out, because if it goes out, I wouldn't be able to do what I do every day.
That's true.
But I wake up in the morning, and it's probably the lowest flame. It's like the one of the level.
The
of
pilot
10.
light
Yeah,
is
yeah,
just
exactly.
lit.
That's
Yeah.
And you know, even on those days when I'm tired, I'm sore, I'm whatever. We worked a lot the day before. I know that by the time I get there, it's gonna start burning brighter, and it's gonna start burning brighter, and my body's gonna hurt, and I'm gonna be sweating, and I'm gonna, you know, whatever. But in the end, by the end of the day, that fire is burning so bright that I can't imagine not going into work the next day. And it's not even work. I can't even imagine not dancing the next day.
There you go. Yeah. And just like every other job, right? You have bosses that you might not like.
Yep.
You have work. The pieces that are created you might not be very excited about them. The places you have to travel can be crushing, right? The travel itself, the
fatigue.
the overwork.
Yeah.
So you know, I think I think that people can glamorize people living their passions, or glamorize being a professional dancer, because I don't think people necessarily see professional dancers as athletes and as professional athletes. It's not if you will get injured, it's when you will get injured, because you're putting your body under such pressure. But would you have it any other way right now?
No. There are some changes I wish I could make to the dance world, but I can do that slowly through my own activism and my own belief in my ideas and the way that I think that the dance world that I want to also help build for the next generation of dancers. So me like quitting now because I don't agree with some things is not the way to invoke change, I don't think. But right now, I'm very happy with the choices I've made that have all led me here, the good ones and the bad ones, the ones that were bad, that seemed bad at first, but were actually blessings in the future, you know. Yeah.
So we didn't stop you. And we didn't try to, and I don't think anybody can stop anybody. And we didn't negate your path.
No. Which was quite surprising. I mean, not surprising because I didn't expect that you guys would, but I made quite a extreme career change in my last year of university, having almost completely finished my psychology degree. I still graduated with a psychology degree because it would be impossible to change. Yeah. But instead of continuing down that path where I would get my master's and then get my license to practice therapy, and then I would have to work probably for the state as like a social worker, and then
or
wherever I would go. But that was the path that I had been working for since high school. I think I wanted to be a therapist.
Yeah, but yes, because you were exposed to really great therapists, I think. You know, and when we have those people that help us, guide us, mold us in such a beautiful, brilliant way.
Also, I had a great psychology teacher in high school. I took AP psychology, and this is such a true testament to the power of a good teacher to a young student. It can be life changing.
No, it is life changing. Yeah.
So.
But even hold on. But even when you were in high school, you were all honors and AP classes.
I was a perfectionist.
Yeah, and you were accepted to Ivy League schools.
Yeah.
And yet you become a dancer. So, you know, it's interesting because I didn't think twice about trying to talk you out of dancing because
and if there was anyone who would have done it, it would have been her.
No.
Yeah.
I think it would have been your dad.
No, but you more than dad know the reality of the dance world.
Well, yeah.
And you know how crushing it can be. And like I think if we're going back to the original topic, one of the reasons why I am so not afraid to stray away from society is because I'm so used to rejection.
Yes.
I had to deal with so much rejection, and
oh my God,
and
rejection is just like I just wasn't strong enough. I wasn't strong enough for the rejection.
And I am very lucky. I have many things going for me. One, that you were a dancer, that I have this sort of inherent talent, that I was able to use my incredible sense of determination and hard work to be able to
tenacious grit
to make it come to life and to be where I am now. But I still had to deal with a lot of rejection and a lot of people telling me you're not good enough. You started too late.
Yeah.
You need to do this or you'll never get here. You need to
do but you know what? I'm sorry. That is the dance world. That is the dance world.
Yeah.
Everyone, even the most talented of dancers, somewhere in their career, someone tells them that they suck.
Yeah.
So, and you know, to be in a Broadway show or whatever, they used to call I don't know if they still do, but they used to call them cattle calls.
They still call them cattle calls.
And because you would compete against hundreds of people, and you would do audition after audition after audition after audition, and never even really get in the front freaking row, right?
Yeah. Last year. No, 2 years ago, I was changing company. I wanted to leave my current company and change to a different company.
Yeah.
I auditioned for 14 companies all over Europe and some in Israel.
He did.
And in this course of 2.5 months.
He did.
That is a lot of flights. That is a lot of Airbnbs. That is a lot of 3 days in one place, 2 days in another place.
Yes.
You have 2 pairs of clothes because you are only affording to bring a carry-on. You're sleeping in airports. It's a lot of pain.
Yeah, it is. And I was like, every time you would go, I would be like, oh, yeah. Because it's
And a lot of them told me no. I got accepted into, of the 14 I auditioned for, I got 2 yeses, which is even more than most
people do. Yeah.
And I'm
No,
very
it's hard.
fortunate
It's a hard
to.
world.
It's hard. And you know what? A lot of it, I think this is another maybe small piece of advice I can give to someone who wants to follow their passions is you have no idea why someone is rejecting you.
Yeah.
A lot of the times when you receive a rejection or you receive a negative
Comment or feedback, yeah.
yeah, that it's probably not about you. The company you are trying to interview for has a different profile of someone they want.
And that's across the board. That's not even just kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they
everyone.
have a certain culture that they want to have some people in and they want to foster. They are looking for a specific personality type to go with another personality type, right? So that they can be symbiotic.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I would agree with that 100%. And so checking off the boxes works for some because it can be very safe.
Yeah.
And for people who really value safety, and it doesn't mean that they don't work hard. It doesn't mean that
boxes are not easy to check off regardless of which ones they are. Because you still have to set a goal and you have to work for that goal and then eventually you accomplish it.
But you know what? This is what I've seen and experienced in all the people that I've worked with, talked to. There's always something missing. And they can't necessarily even put a name on it. They can't identify it, but they always, there's something missing, whether it's the excitement, the adrenaline, the love of like what they do, there's always like this dream that was never
blossomed.
Yeah. And regrets come from that. Even if you were to change jobs today, I don't think you would have regrets.
Change jobs.
As in change professions. Like if you decided tomorrow, because as adults, it's beautiful, we get to decide anything, everything, every day. We can change anything we want, every day, any day. And you could decide tomorrow, you know what, my body's beat up. I'm done with the rejection. I'm ready for whatever.
Something else.
And I don't think you would have any regrets with everything that you experienced. But that's me.
No.
Would you? No, you wouldn't.
No, I don't think so, because wherever I would go now is shaped by everything I've done before.
Yeah, but that's the same for everybody. But you have a dream that you made come true. And you fought for it and you worked for it. It was hard. But you had a dream that you made.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's something to be said for that.
Yeah. I also, maybe I don't have the same boxes as everyone else, but I check off my own boxes too.
See, and we have a few minutes to talk about that, because that was a brilliant comment that you made when we were talking about like doing this, is that your boxes to check off were different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So explain that more. I love that.
I don't even know where to start. Like maybe just in short, when I came out as gay, it yeah, exactly. Shh, don't tell Mom.
Don't tell Dad.
Yeah. When I came out as gay, you learn very quickly that the world is not built for you. And yet, the world is not built for you yet, and hopefully we will change that. We are changing it. That's right. So that really helped me actually to learn that I had to create my own boxes.
It's true.
That I wanted, and that just sort of maybe that's it. Sort of made me more adventurous, because I didn't feel this need to graduate high school, graduate college, find a wife, get married, buy a house, have a baby, have another car, build a white fence around my house, save up for retirement. Like these are all great things, but that's not my life. And even if I tried my hardest, that would not be my life.
Right.
So-
and it started when you came out and you
Yeah.
were like, I have a different path
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
It's already started as a different path.
But to get to where I've wanted to get, I've had to make my own boxes and check them off. And
Yeah.
that's been really scary, because if I don't check off those boxes, then it is my fault.
Yeah, you
I
can't
have-
blame anybody else then.
I have almost 100% of the responsibility
Yeah.
of checking off my own boxes, and that is a it's a deeply satisfying and deeply terrifying thing at the same time. And
I
I'm not
agree.
saying I'm not afraid of these. I'm not afraid of failure. I'm less afraid of failure than I was when I was 20
There
or
you
when I was
go.
25.
There you go.
I'm only 30. Fellas, get at me.
You did not just do that.
But it's like, you would think that after doing this for so long, it's been 9 years I'm dancing, that you would think that by now when I go on stage, I'm not afraid. Every time the curtain's down, the lights go down, and my heart is like boom, 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 boom. It's like in my ears, I can feel it.
Every time I get on the Sterling Women's stage, I'm scared before
Yeah.
I get on. I mean, yeah.
But you know what keeps me going in that is I feel the blood running through my veins.
I feel alive.
Exactly.
I feel
I feel the fire of my passion just like burning so bright. And actually, the biggest thing I've had to conquer is how to, and this is very specific for dancing, but how to quench that flame a little bit so it doesn't go crazy.
Right. So you don't
know,
over.
how I can be
Yeah.
myself and not myself on adrenaline, you know?
Right. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can make more mistakes
Yeah,
if you don't. You can lose technique and you can rush the performance
Yeah.
and lots of stuff.
But yeah, so anyway, I had to create my own boxes to be able to get where I wanted to be. And,
I love that. That's a really, really good point, and I'm glad that you thought of it and we could talk about it. So checking off the boxes works for some, but the reason I'm doing this is because there are some people out there that say, oh, it's too late for me to do blank. I'm too old to do blank. And if you have a passion and you want to live it,
Yeah.
if you are physically able, like I couldn't become an Olympic athlete right now. I mean, that wouldn't be a really good dream or goal for me. But there are lots of things, right, that you can still do to live that passion, to have that flame that's inside of you. I can't see that on me. Do that with you. That little flame, right? Kind of make, yeah. So no regrets, right?
No regrets.
No regrets. Thank you, Cindy Machino, Transformational Healing, and thank you for joining us for a cup of happiness. And have a great week.
Thank you.